Yes, my Between the Line is. It's that time again. It's time for a Manchester United reality check. The first ever video I ever did on this channel was a Manchester United reality check. And yes, people, it's that time again. How times have changed. When I was complaining last time, it was near the end of Ollie's times. Ragnick was about to come in. We was in the absolute mud that season. And look at us now. 9 defeats in 17 games in all competitions. Our worst start to a season since 1973-1974 season. And honestly, I don't know if it's ever been this bad as a United fan. As far as I'm concerned, in my lifetime, I can't think of anything worse except Moyes' 7 months was really bad. Van Gaal, watching Van Gaal's play style was horrendous. I remember being at uni them times and just seeing us draw 0-0 against Cambridge. We'd have 24 shots, about 3 shots on target. We had Falcao and Di Maria on the pitch and we drew 0-0 to Cambridge. And I think it was in like League 2 at the time. We've lived through the Mourinho era. We've broken records. Every manager post Sir Alex, every manager somehow keeps breaking new records every season. This season, Ten Hag's breaking new records somehow from 1973. You honestly, as a United fan, you think, can it get any worse? And then every week we hear a new record and somehow it's got worse. And then we've got Luton Town this weekend. I don't think they've won at Old Trafford in 20 games or something like that. And obviously we haven't played them in a long time. Is there going to be another record broken? I hope not. But I thought I'd just have a chat with you guys. Usually I know I'm sitting over the on the table over there. I thought, let me get comfortable a bit, sit on the sofa, have a little cherry 7-Up. Not meant to be promoting them, I guess, but that's why it's in the red cup. But I thought, you know what? Let me have a chill session with you guys. Sorry. Firstly, obviously we've had a really bad start to the season and a lot of things have gone against us. Yes, you can say that the play style hasn't been there, or you think that Ten Hag isn't ready or capable to be at a club of this size, or you think that the players aren't good enough. I get it, I completely understand. But if you think about it from a Man United's fan point of view, I think a lot of that is tribalism. Because if you actually dissect the facts and really think about it, it's really not as drastic as everyone else is making out to be. Yes, the record itself is 9 defeats in 17 games. It's horrendous. I completely understand that. But look at everything in the context, the number of injuries we've had, the controversies over the Sancho's, Greenwood's, Anthony's, blah, blah, blah. The Glazer situation with Jim Ratcliffe and the Qatari bid or Sheikh Jassim bid, all that circumstances going above, and this is all from above the football pitch. That's got nothing to do with the football pitch, nothing related to the team at all, their team performance at all, let alone the VAR situation, which has been an absolute disgrace. This season, I'm sure many of you guys have seen. If you're a United fan and you're watching 90 minutes week in, week out, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy because, well, I don't know. There's not going to be people sitting there in a meeting saying, let's mess up Man United's season. That's probably not going to happen. And if you think that's going to happen, like even if I was to think that was going to happen, I'd be labelled as crazy or delusional. And I get it. From a rival fan's point of view, I completely understand. But from a Man United's point of view, Man United fan point of view, there's been a lot of decisions this season that I don't even want to list out because it's so depressing even thinking about them, that have really gone against us, that potentially didn't have to go against us. For example, like the Garnacho against Arsenal, which was millimetres offside. Some angles it looks offside, some angles it looks onside. There's no conclusive evidence, but it's given against us. Big moments in big games, VAR has really let us down. And like I said before, I know the players have also let us down. We've been playing shit, to be honest. A lot of the players have been underperforming. A lot of our big players haven't been playing well. I completely get that. And even Ten Hag's got some, he's not flawless either. He's got some part to lie in the blame for the players' performances and the team results. Completely understand that. But in big moments, VAR has also let us down. And a lot of that goes down to being also unlucky, you could say. Or not even... I'm one of the people that say that you make your own luck. But a lot of things have gone against us. Bad timing with injuries. We haven't played a regular starting 11 this season. And even if you think about it, last season, we barely ever had a full fit 11 out or a regular starting 11 or Ten Hag's regular starting 11. He lost Martinez in February time or something. He lost Casemiro throughout numerous times in the season. He lost Luke Shaw. And forget last season anyway. Let's talk about this season. This season, we haven't had a regular starting 11 week in, week out. He hasn't been able to pick his best team. We haven't had Shaw and Martinez. And honestly, on the topic of Ten Hag, which I'll get to a bit further on, but until he has Martinez and Luke Shaw in his starting 11, I refuse to judge him properly. Because his play style and style of play to build up from the back using like a 3-1-6 formation or a 3-2-5 formation to build up play from the back to break down other teams' defences. Shaw and Martinez are so crucial to that. And you know that because look at last season. A lot of us, especially United fans, we were saying, look, if we're one striker away from really creating something here and building something here, because the way we were going, I know everyone likes to throw about this agenda that we don't have a style of play this season, which in certain games I see, but in other games you can see what the team's trying to do. And even at the Copenhagen game, which I'll get to in a sec, you can see the team and the way they're trying to build out from the back and the way they're trying to build through the different phases of play and trying to build attacks through transitions. You can see what they're trying to do in glimpses, but maybe the players aren't capable of doing that on a regular basis, or the players in those positions aren't capable because they've been thrown on. Look at Dalot, for example. I don't want to dig him out, but he's probably our fourth choice left back, and he's played left back the last 2-3 games. Because realistically, Shaw, Malacia, Reguilon, if he was match fit, maybe starts ahead of Dalot. It's either Dalot or Reguilon who's our third choice left back. And how unfortunate is that? How do you expect your team to build up from the back when you got a third choice or fourth choice left back in your team? Any team in this league, in this Premier League, which is very of the highest caliber, of course, you're going to get found out if your third choice, you're playing your third choice anything in any position. There's going to be key characteristics of your team play missing, or you're going to be, that's a weakness that an opposition is going to go and attack. And because they all know our injury list, there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. It's going to happen. There's going to be mistakes. And that leads on to, it's a ripple effect as well, because the rest of the players aren't going to be confident. Say, for example, Onana, he's come in and probably had a bit of a shaky start at first. He's starting to rebuild his form and his confidence. You can't blame him for going through a bad patch of form, because last season he's gone from Skinrier and Bastoni and DiMarco on the left-hand side, and I can't remember who they got on the right. Is it Dumfries? Who are all fairly comfortable on the ball, and he's going to trust or be able to pass to them, into the defenders, into the midfielders, and have the confidence that they're not going to give it away. He's come to United, and Maguire and Evans have done pretty well for us, but they're not elite centre-backs, neither are they elite ball-playing centre-backs. That's probably not their main attributes. Maybe Evans is arguable. But, which is crazy that I'm saying that. Man, this is why I need a reality check myself, bruv. But yeah, like I was saying, he's not going to have the greatest of confidence to pass to them guys either. That's going to be in your mind when you're about to zip it into one of your defenders, and unfortunately it's Harry Maguire, who might have a heavy touch, or even Varane, for example, like in the Copenhagen game, who was very shaky after he come off the bench. You're not going to have confidence passing it out to them, and it's going to have a ripple effect on the rest of your teammates. So I think injuries have harmed us a lot. VAR has harmed us a lot. Luck has gone against us, unfortunately. And also, I'm not taking away all the blame from the players, because the players are a big part to play for this. For example, I don't know if there are any stats out there for looking at who wins the first challenge and the second challenge. First and second balls. whoever's played with me Sunday League since I was 11 years old, you guys know, if it's a goal kick, if it's a free kick, me, myself, whether I'm playing centre-back, striker, CDM, right mid, anywhere the manager plays me, I'm always going to be shouting out, first and second balls, we win both of them. I'll shout that out every single game in 11-a-side, 90 minutes. Every set piece, I'm shouting out first and second balls. And I'm going to be aiming to be the first one. And if I'm not going to be the first one to get the header out, and one of my teammates does it, and the ball's coming back, I'm going to be trying to be the second one and getting the second ball out. Our players are so bad at anticipating. And I know we've got quite high pressing stats this season, which is very impressive. I think we're amongst the best in the league this season in terms of pressing and winning the ball back high. But winning the second ball is so crucial, especially in a league of this intensity and the way that it's based on so many transitions, and you've got to be calculated against so many good footballers and elite tactical minds from the managers. You need to be put in the hard graft and do the basics. First and second balls is absolute basics. They teach you that when you're 10 years old in 11-a-side. And I'm not hearing people that are loud enough. Like, is Maguire not shouting that first and second ball to his players? When it's a goal kick, we're seeing Rashford not jumping up hard enough or high enough or with enough urgency. McTominay's a big lad. Is he winning enough headers in the middle? Maguire, fair play to him, he's been winning a lot of headers. But I need to see more aggression and desire and determination to win the ball. If you've given it away, or if the ball's coming towards you, you better win that first ball and you better win the second challenge as well. Otherwise, it's not good enough. This is the basics of being a Manchester United player. Look, looking at the Copenhagen game, because I didn't do a match reaction, I was really tired. I've had a busy week with work and stuff, and I've tried to release loads of other videos. So that's why I'm doing this now. And obviously, we've got Luton tomorrow, so I don't know what the result of that is going to be. But the Copenhagen game, I know we've taken a lot of flack from rival fans because they don't watch 90 minutes. I'm going to say this live here, right on camera. If you don't watch a player or a team for 90 minutes, I honestly don't think you have an accurate representation of that player. You can watch highlights, you can watch match of the day, but you're not seeing everything. And to be honest, even watching a game on TV, it's very difficult to notice everything a certain player or maybe a certain team does because you don't see the angle of the whole pitch the whole time. And I'm not even going to a game, you don't see everything. So it's going to be difficult. The only way you can actually analyze a player or analyze a team, in my opinion, is if you go to the games and you watch the games on TV, but you watch 90 minutes and you watch as much as you can from an analytical point of view. You can't just be focused on the goals and shots and assists because that's not everything. Or even like passing accuracy. For example, Maguire might have a high passing accuracy recently, and I don't want to dig him out, obviously. Or even Varane, for example. Let's use Varane. Varane does this thing where a lot of people say that he's decent on the ball. Maybe Ten Hag obviously disagrees because he's playing Evans and Maguire. But a lot of his passes, when he's passing it to his fullback, is actually behind the player. To be honest, I'm thinking of Maguire, not actually Varane. Maguire does that a lot. Maguire does this thing where he's passing it to his defender, and fair play, he's not really giving it away recently, but he passes it to the defender, and it's actually behind him. So by the time he takes a touch to adjust himself, another player has already come and shut down his passing lanes or has pressed him and won the ball off us at the back. And that's happened to us a lot this season because our passes aren't good enough. You've got to pass it knowing the angle that your player that you're passing to is going to be able to take a touch in front of him and move on to attack. Otherwise, it's not possible. It's not going to work. You're harming your teammates like this. And it's just such a simple, basic thing. And maybe not everyone notices that. Like I was saying, if you don't watch a game 90 minutes, you're not going to notice these things. And if you see after the highlights, Man United have lost 4-3 against Copenhagen, you're going to think it's the worst thing in the world. As a rival fan, I get it, tribalism, I get it. But as a Manchester United fan, you got to see it with a bit more nuance and understand what's really happening and watch the game. Speaking of Copenhagen, I thought we played pretty well. The first half, and even when we're down to 10 men in the second half, that was probably some of the best football we've played this season. Other than that, maybe Crystal Palace at home in the Carabao Cup, which I went to go watch the vlog for that. Sorry, was interrupted. As I was saying about the Copenhagen game, I know as rival fans, you're going to come at us and say, we've lost to a small team from Denmark. How could you lose to Copenhagen? I get it. But if you actually look at that those 45 minutes, we played some really good football. The second half, even when we were down to 10 men, we played some really good football. And we probably could have won the game even with 10 men. But unfortunately, the players let us down again because their mentality... I'm not talking about work ethic. In this game, to be fair, you could see they gave it all. The players were shattered. But the players' mentality to be able to see out a win or see out a draw is so fragile because as soon as we concede a goal, heads just drop. And I honestly, United fans, let me know in the comments, how do we even fix that? Like that fragile mentality. Is it a case of getting rid of all those players that are part of that problem, or players that just aren't good enough to be a regular starter for Manchester United? I don't know the solution to that. We've fallen into a massive hole where the players, anytime the things get tough, they fold. They're not capable. Anytime that we concede a goal and the pressure's on us, we fold. And I don't know how you get rid of that. And you would have thought that last season we started to overcome that. We won a few big games at home. We then went on a decent cup run in the FA Cup final. We got to the final. We went in a good cup run in the Carabao Cup, beat a few big teams on the way, like Nottingham Forest and Newcastle, and Charlton and Brighton. And then obviously we got to the Europa League quarter-final as well. Unfortunately, we lost to the kings of Europa League, Sevilla. But I just don't know how we resolve that situation or the capabilities of getting over that pressure, that mental block, because we're so fragile. And I don't know, obviously it happened against Copenhagen. But like I was saying, I thought we played good football. The Rashford red card, I can't be bothered to get into. I don't think it's a red card personally. I think he was shielding the ball. He had no intention to plant his foot there. I've done it before myself at Power League. Like when you're protecting the ball, you put your foot down, you don't even know where the other player is going to put his foot. Or how did he know the other player was going to put his foot underneath there? You're just trying to protect the ball so that he doesn't come and kick it. And unfortunately, because of timing in that small second, he stamped that guy on his foot or stood on his ankle. But you don't know that's going to happen. I don't think that's a red card. And there, common sense should prevail. And the referee should say that's a yellow at max because it's not a red card offence. And when it looks like that in slow motion or in a still image, you're going to give it because it looks horrendous like that. But if you're looking at it in real time, it's not a red card offence in my opinion. But anyway, forget VAR. I'm done with it anyway. I think they should scrap VAR. Put that out there right now. Get in the comments and write scrap VAR, scrap VAR. Other than that, in the Copenhagen game, I also want to say, I know Dalot is getting a lot of criticism, and I'm not really his greatest fan. I think he's all right. He's a jack of all trades, master of none, and not even to an elite level, in my opinion. He probably shouldn't be starting for United. But then again, you guys know I love Wan-Bissaka, and realistically, he shouldn't be a regular starter for United at right back either. But he's just the best of what we got right now. I would happily take Aaron Wan-Bissaka as a squad. The day that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a squad player at United is the day that I know that we're heading in the right direction, because he's an amazing squad player. But a first team regular at United needs to be a better level than that. So that's what I'm saying. Guys like Dalot and Wan-Bissaka, they shouldn't even be in the starting lineup realistically. And my point was about Copenhagen. I know they're coming under a lot of criticism. Wan-Bissaka has just come back from injury. He's playing 90 minutes week in, week out. When he got injured, Dalot came in from injury, or maybe he didn't, but he's been playing 90 minutes week in, week out, every game. So it's only natural that when you're playing in a Champions League game, the pressure's on, the crowd are against you, you're down to 10 men, you've been running your arse off all game, you're going to have slight lapses in concentration. The only thing is with Dalot, he's made this mistake a few times when the ball's coming over him at the back post, and he's fallen asleep for 1 second. He's tried to push up or something. I don't even know. So yes, he's got to take criticism, but you also got to empathise with the players in that game specifically because they gave their all. But I know in the context of the season, it's just another mistake and another loss, which feels bad. And I get it, guys, man. But does that also mean that you're going to go at Ten Hag now because you're hearing rival fans cussing him out? Oh, Ten Hag's lost another Champions League game. Because if you look at it within that game, we play some good football. And you're hoping, I'm going to get to Luton game shortly, but you're hoping that Luton game that we have a good performance and we get another good result. And we've had we've scraped results here and there. So there's something telling me that these players haven't given it up. I know that we keep saying the same players do the same mistakes for Ten Hag. And obviously, pardon me, we had the game against Man City and the players collapsed. We weren't going to beat Man City anyway. We didn't beat them last season. Oh, yeah, we did. With the help of VAR. Ironic. But yeah, realistically, we're not at the level to be able to compete with them on a regular basis for 90 minutes. That's what I mean anyway. So, back to Ten Hag and the players. I feel like the players are really giving their all to keep him in the job or keep fighting for the manager and keep fighting for the badge. But within the game, it's just, I need more. And that also means big players need to turn up. Bruno Fernandes hasn't turned up enough this season. I thought he had a really good game against Copenhagen, though. Really fought for the team and tried to help his teammates out. Varane has come off the bench. And I don't know if he's had a falling out with Ten Hag or not, but I don't even know what's going on there. And Varane is a question mark because he's so fragile. And I personally think the gaffer's keeping him out of the starting lineup just to try and protect him and keep him for the season. My man's retired from international football to stay fit for club football, and he still can't stay fit. Unless there's other things going on here. But in my opinion, I think Ten Hag's trying to save him because he's not fit enough to play regularly. Or if he plays, he's probably going to pull up with something. And the game against Copenhagen, he was shit, to be honest. He was poor. He didn't do good enough. And I know he's a big name. I want to love Varane. I love Varane. I want to hype him up. It's Champions League Varane. But you have to expect more from these big players. Marcus is another one who's had a really poor season. And he started to look all right, to be fair, on Wednesday, against Copenhagen. But obviously the sending off. He really needs to step up. The big game players really need to step up. Our big players really need to step up. And I know things are going off the pitch with the ownership and Anthony Greenwood situation, Sancho situation. I do not care anymore, guys. From the players, I want to see more. Just like the Brentford determination from Scott McTominay, the Maguire comeback and redemption, the energy and effort he's putting in. And let's be real, he's not really Manchester United level centre-back either. But the performance he's putting in, at least he's trying his best. He's giving his all for the team and it's for his teammates and for the fans and for the badge. And you have to respect that, regardless of how shit he actually is. Other players need to step up and do the same. Same way the Bruno Fernandes against Fulham. I need to see that week in, week out on a regular basis because they're trying to put Ten Hag under pressure. And like I was saying, the players, I believe, are mostly playing for the manager. I do believe that. I know there's certain games that you feel like they're not putting enough energy in, or I don't know what it is. I think it's more like mental fatigue because on paper, these players are very good players. I know it's easy to criticise them and say they're not good enough, but a lot of them are good enough to be able to play for Manchester United. Maybe just like the chemistry's missing. And obviously Ten Hag's at fault for certain things, such as substitutions, what's happening with Amrabat, what's happening with Mount. How did Amrabat come in, look like Ten Hag was trying to force him in ASAP because we needed him, and now he can't even get in the team over McTominay and Eriksen? Like Ten Hag, even, that's baffling me, to be honest. I don't even understand what's happened there. And you brought in Mount, we don't even know where you want to play him. He came on the other day against Copenhagen for Højlund, when you had Martial, or you could have even kept Højlund on because when Mount come on, he didn't do nothing. I honestly think if you look back at the last goal that Copenhagen scored, Rooney Bargy, the 17-year-old, which is a great goal, to be fair to him. If you look at the cross that's come in before Maguire's messed up or whatever, and Dallow's doing Lord knows what, Mount, if you look at him, he's the one that's allowed the cross to come in. There's no pressure on the crosser. Mount's looking like he's trying to cut off some passing lanes into the middle. But if he'd taken 1 second look, no one's around him for him to be blocking any passing lanes. So get forward and block the cross. You're just standing there. You're letting the cross come in. And because of that, they've scored. So yeah, anyway, Ten Hag, why did you buy Mount? Why did you buy Amrabat if you're not going to play them? They seem like good fits in our system. They should be good fits. But then again, maybe because the system's not ready, because the back's not set yet, and we haven't got a regular centre-backs or left-backs, you can't put them into the midfield. Who knows, man? There's one thing about Ten Hag that I'm definitely going to back, and I'll continue to back. As far as I don't see Lisandro Martinez and Luke Shaw in that lineup, I won't judge Ten Hag. Or unless if I see his press conferences and he comes out after the game or before the game, he does a post-match conference. I watched today's conference that he did today for the Luton game tomorrow. And as far as I can see, the guy wants to give it his all and he believes himself that he's the right guy to turn us back around and get us to the top. The second I see some disbelief in himself, that's when I'll say get Ten Hag out. But as long as I don't see that, I will not say that, and I refuse to say to get rid of Ten Hag. I'll back this guy even if we finish 10th this season. And look, this is a reality check. Let's have some reality in there. We're what? 6 points off top 4? It's not that drastic. It just shows how bad the rest of the league is, to be honest. Because this is our worst season since 1972. Our worst start to a season since 1972. And we're only 6 points off top 4. And I know top 4 is not on our ambitions. But right now, unfortunately, in the Man City Pep era, it probably has to be or close to we have to aim to be challenging for a title. And I believe Ten Hag can get us a title one day, regardless, if he can fix everything around him. But for now, we're only 6 points off top 4. We're not that far off everyone else, except probably the title race obviously is out of the question, unfortunately. And I was saying some wild stuff back in August, if you remember. I might even come back to that later if we start winning some games. But yeah, we're not that far off. Back the manager. Ten Hag is the joint quickest manager for Manchester United to get to 50 wins. I think he did it in like 78 games. And I think it's at Premier League. I've got that stat somewhere. He's got, I think it's just all games actually. He's got to 50 wins in 78 games. And he's also got the highest win percentage for a Manchester United manager, post Sir Alex. He's got 65.6%. Mourinho's got 58%. Solskjaer's got 54%. Moyes had 52%. Van Gaal had 52%. Ragnick had 38%, which is a disgrace. So Ten Hag has at least had a 7% win percent rate higher than Jose Mourinho right now and all the other managers post-Ferguson. And you lot are ready to sack him already after all the things that we've gone through in the past seasons post Sir Alex. He's doing the best out of all of them. In his first, bro, he's only had 1 season and 2 months. And you're already ready to get rid of him. Some of you guys need to wake up. And yes, he's not flawless. He's made mistakes. But he's genuinely the best manager we've had post-Fergie at coming in at the right time of the club. And hopefully he gets the backing of Jim Ratcliffe and he gets at least the right people in the top places, like I think they're saying Paul Mitchell and the other guy, I can't remember his name. Hopefully they start sorting things out at the top as well. And then give Ten Hag the rest of the squad to deal with, not have to deal with signing players, not have to deal with all the disciplinary issues or the board issues, not people not knowing whether they're going to play tomorrow or not, or sponsorships and that. We need to get back to being the best football team that is possible in this country. And that's the reason why I support Man United, because we're meant to be the best. Anyway, we'll do a quick preview for the Luton game. I'm not sure. Is he going to play Rashford after the red card? Maybe he will. He's probably going to give him another game on the right-hand side because he looked all right in that first half. That means maybe Garnacho comes in on the left, probably. But I wouldn't be surprised if he drops Garnacho, not because of his performance, but the shift that my man put in on that Wednesday against Copenhagen was sensational. Honestly, I love Garnacho. I think I've got Garnacho on the back of this shirt. But we also need to look after him. He's only a 19-year-old kid. We can't just be throwing him in every game. And the amount of expectation he has on him already is so high as it is. I don't want to see Anthony in there, to be honest. I'd rather see Garnacho, to be honest. Anthony, you need to fix up your performances. Whatever you're doing in training is not working, my guy. Whatever you're doing in the matches is not working. You really need to step it up. I get it. I've tried to praise you and back you for your hard work, and I get it. But what else are you providing? I don't think he should be playing Anthony. I'd rather see Palestri in there. And I don't think he's going to play Amrabat because it looks like Scott McTominay is in favour. Eriksson is probably the correct player to play against a Luton team who's going to be playing a pretty low to mid block. Bruno, I hope he steps it up again. He's done well in the last 2 games. Well, Fulham, I don't even think he played well. He scored the goal, but I don't think he played that well. Copenhagen, I thought he played really well. Really good captain's performance against Copenhagen. I know we lost, but hopefully he steps up again because he's crucial. Marcus, if you do play, we desperately need the goals from you. Luton haven't beaten us in a long time, and I hope this isn't another script written for Manchester United to lose, another record to lose. I hope not. And I got faith in my guy Højlund, who's an absolute sensational superstar. He's on the brink of greatness. He's going to score that Premier League goal, and I honestly think it's going to be tomorrow against Luton at Old Trafford. And we have to win the game. I know a lot of the fans really want a performance. At the moment, you want a good performance, you want goals, I get it. I'll take a 2-0 right now. Even a 1-0, bro. I just can't take any more defeats. And I have faith that we're going to play well. Luton have just drawn against Liverpool, and I think they drew on against Forest recently. But Liverpool missed a lot of chances, I believe, and maybe Forest did too. So hopefully if we can create an early chance, if we get an early goal, I have a lot of faith in the boys to really get a good result. We're due to have a good performance and score some goals. We came close against Copenhagen. I hope we can come close against Luton. If we don't score early, though, I'll start getting a bit nervous. And look, we haven't kept a clean sheet in a long time, it feels like, except Fulham. I'll be nervous. Maybe no Evans. Does Varane play? Does he bring on Lindelof? Because he doesn't want to play Varane and Maguire together. Who knows? We might even concede a goal, but I hope not. Anyway, this has been a Manchester United reality check. To be honest, guys, I just did this for myself. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you comment. Let me know what you think about the season. Do you have faith? Honestly, we're gonna finish top 4. We're also gonna finish above Spurs. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, like the video. Make sure, please, subscribe if you haven't already. This has been a Manchester United reality check. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Safe. Between the lines.